Hi and welcome back to the Twine beginner tutorials. So this tutorial is going to be all about the text in your story. So I'm going to cover how to align the text, how to space the letters, changing the colour of the main text, changing the colour of the buttons, changing the colour when you hover over text, and how to change the font. So I'm going to start with how to change the text alignment. So when we press play, by default the text is always on the left side. So we're going to change it so that you can put it in the centre or on the right hand side. So I'm going to exit out of this. And so to change all of these, you're going to go to the bottom left hand corner and you're going to go to edit story style sheet, and here is your style sheet. So anyone that may have done HTML or CSS styling before will have a bit of an advantage, but it isn't too hard. Once you get the gist of the coding, you should be fine. So I'm going to type TW dash passage dash, then the curly bracket, text align. Make sure you put a dash in between the text and the line, and then this, and then whichever way you want it. So I'm going to put mine center, but you can just put yours right or left or wherever. So then you're going to close it with this and the curly bracket again. So then you're going to exit out of that, and when you press play it should be aligned to the center, and it is. So that worked there. So you can style that then whatever way you'd like. So what happens then if you want to just change the text alignment in one of your passages? So I'm going to show you now. You go back into edit story style sheet and you're going to take out the code that you already put in, and then you're going to put in new code. So it's not much longer. So at the start you are going to type in the TW passage, and then you're going to do the square brackets that you do for your buttons. You're going to write tags, and then a little line and an equal sign also, and then you're going to do quotation marks. So do two of them and go back. So you can call whatever you put in the quotation marks, you can call whatever you want. So I'm just going to call mine tutorial. So that's now a tag. So basically what I'm telling this is, so it's the Twine project, so any passages that have the tag tutorial. And then you're going to do curly bracket, text align, center, and then close those tags. That's the code there. So just have a look at that for a second. And then, so when we exit back out of the style sheet, I'm going to pick continue. So I'm going to double click that to edit, and just underneath the title there's a tag. I need to type in exactly what I typed in to my tag. So I'm going to type in tutorial add. So that passage now has that tag. So then when I press play, and the only passage that should have the text aligned to the center is the continue one. So that's after working perfect for me there. So now we're going to go on and I'm going to show you how to change the letter spacing in your passages. So say here when I click on beginning, all the text is quite close together, not very exciting, just that's the default. So I'm going to close that and I'm going to change it. So I'm going to go back into story 01, edit story style sheet, and then I'm going to work off the code that I've already built. So at the moment the code in here is only affecting any passages with the tag tutorials. So I'm going to go ahead and add another component under text align. So after center semicolon, I'm going to do enter, and then I'm going to type letter spacings. So letter dash spacing, and I'm going to try 10 pixels, see how that looks, and then you need to make sure you remember to close it with a semicolon. So now I'm just going to exit there, go back into play, and when I press play, continue, there's a continue passage that also has the tutorial tag. So you can see there that the letters are a lot more spread out. Okay, so now I'm going to exit that. Go back into story 1, back into edit story style sheet, and from the code, I'm just going to remove the square bracket tags tutorial just because I want the writing spacing to affect all. I want the letter spacing and I want the text line to affect all my text. So I'm going to go ahead, delete that, exit, and then play. And there you go. All your letters now are spaced to 10 pixels and all of them are aligned to the center. So next I'm going to go on and show you how to change the colour of the main text in each passage. So it's the same thing. You're going to go back into story 1, go back into style sheet story 1, and then you're going to type and add another component under letter spacing. So after the semicolon of 10 pixels, you're going to write colour, so that applies to the main text. Background colour applies to the colour behind. So I'm just going to do pink, semicolon, exit, and play. So now you can see the writing comes up a nice little baby pink colour, and so do the arrows. So just exit out of that. So typing in a colour like pink or red or blue will work for just one single block colour, but say you want to type in a shade of a blue or a shade of anything, specific colour, what I do is I just look up the HTML code for certain colours. So those HTML codes will start with a hashtag. So you copy and paste the code, and then where you've written pink or where you've written red, you'll then copy and paste that code in. So from Google, I found a code for a purple colour. So I'm going to paste the code that I got for my purple colour. And then if it's missing the hashtag, just make sure you put that in, and then exit and play. And as you can see, the purple colours come up. Okay, so to change the font of your passages, you go back into Story 01, back up to Edit Story Style Sheet, and then the same process again. You're going to go underneath the colour and the code that you've typed in, underneath the semicolon, and then you're going to type font-family. And I'm just going to do something that I know everyone will have on their computer, so I'm just going to do Arial, and then semicolon, exit, play, and you can see that font there has changed now. So you can change to any font you have in your computer. I'm just using a font that I know everyone has. So moving on to changing the colour of the buttons, we're going to go back into the Story 01 Edit Story Style Sheet. So for this one, we won't be doing it inside the same code that we'd previously done. We're going to press enter outside the other curly brackets and start new. So I'm just going to paste in the code here now so you can all see. So it's TW, so Twine, project link, curly brackets, colour, so the text colour, semicolon, and then the close bracket. So at the moment this is set to green. I'm going to change it to pink. And you can change it to whatever you'd like. So then just make sure that's all closed. And then I'm going to exit, press play, and then you can see the buttons on your screen are pink. And then last but not least, I'm going to show you how to change the colour when you hover over text in a passage. So I'll just go in and press play just to show you exactly what I am changing. So when I hold my mouse over the buttons, when I'm hovering over them, they change to a blue. So that's the colour that I'm going to change now. So to do that, you go back into Story 01, then edit my style sheet, and then copy this code in. So the code is .enchantment-link hover, so it's linking that action, which is enchantment, to the hover text. Then TW link, which is Twine project link. Then hover, and then colour, and the colour that you'd like to change yours to. So I'm going to change mine to green. So you can select any colour you'd like, and you can also use a HTML colour code. So we're going to close that and then press play, and now you can see when I hover over the buttons that it changes green. So that's it. It wasn't too hard. Please keep watching the series to find out more about Twine, more about how you can create your first interactive story, how you'll be able to add images, music, and change your text format style exactly how you like. Thank you.